Hey everyone, welcome back to the Mark Loeffler Experience. Today, we are going to talk headlines. Headlines. What's going on out there in the world? What are they saying? Let's see. This week's top stories. Canadian real estate bubble delivered a final blow. A global bubble worse than 2006. If you remember what happened in 2006, you'll remember obviously 2008, 2009. That was the fall of the US market. Basically, credit, if it was a butthole, it puckered up so tight that, I don't even know what to say about that now. But basically, there was no credit available for anybody. I don't see that happening right now, although we're in Canada. We have a much more stable system to lend people money, and banks are still doing that. They are still, I just signed for a mortgage last week. I signed another term sheet for an apartment building mortgage. So people are still lending money out there in this environment. I'm seeing that in the States too. People are still lending. It's more expensive for sure. I have buddies of mine who are buying in the States saying, hey, they're going to stop buying right now. These are Americans. The Canadians are still buying down there though. These are the headlines, guys, and we're gonna see what's behind the curtain. We're gonna go behind the headlines, and we're gonna drill down and say, hey, what's actually happening? Is this real? Is this false? And just before we get into everything, this video is brought to you by Catano Loeffler Realty Services. If you're looking to buy a home, sell a home, or invest in real estate in Southwestern Ontario or Alberta, do give us a call. We're happy to help. Also, we have monthly investor meetups. We have one tonight in Hamilton. We'll put the link below, and the next one is August 15th. Looking forward to seeing everybody out there. And let's talk about this when we get there. All right, Canadian housing market correction gets more serious. It sounds like a high school senior who's going in and I'm going to be serious about my school year this year. Canadian home prices are dropping faster and faster, especially in Ontario and parts of BC. National Aggregate MLS Home Price Index recorded its largest ever 1 month decline of 1.9%. That's pretty big when you're talking nationally, right? We obviously saw more in markets in Ontario and probably in BC because the other parts of the country aren't falling as much or falling at all. Earlier super tight demand supply conditions are easing rapidly. If you want to buy a home, you can buy a home. There's tons on the market right now. Home resales in Canada are down 27% since February, including a 5.6% month-over-month drop from May to June. Recent interest rate increases and the prospect for more hikes by the fall will chill the market farther in the coming months. We've kind of been saying that on this channel. Do I still think now, and you guys can tell me I'm a realtor, whatever, do I think now is a good time to be buying real estate? I think if you're selective and you're getting the right property at the right price, and a 10% downswing isn't going to bother you, 20% downswing, you have a good cash flowing property, then I would say go nuts. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to buy as much as I can right now. I think now is a great opportunity. I think in some markets it's going to get better or it's going to get worse before it gets better, and I'm kind of waiting in those markets. But time will tell. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I'll look like a jackass again. Who knows? Housing market update. This is, we just went through the top things. Price correction is spreading. MLS HPI fell in Winnipeg, Montreal, Quebec City from May to June. And we think it will mark a turning point from Calgary and Halifax, who may not be far behind because they were flat last month. And again, they're not at least like the Albertas of the world, and they are not as susceptible to this because they didn't have the huge run up in prices already. They were just starting to get that at the beginning of this year, and now that was very, very short-lived. But basically, we're in a balanced market, and it's probably going to go into a buyer's market very, very soon. So, uneven impact of higher interest rates. We've seen that. You guys can read that. We'll put the link up. This is the RBC Canadian market housing. But this is what I love. This is the headline. Canadian real estate bubble was just delivered its final blow. This is BMO. Now, you're talking clickbait here, right? Like, I love clickbait. I think my videos need to be more clickbaitable, so more of you lovely people watch them. But Canadian real estate costs just blew past 1980s bubble when it comes to payments. BMO estimates the average home in Ontario required $3,000 a month in payments to carry the mortgage. The recent climb in rates and price drove that cost to $4,700 a month, adjusting for purchasing power over the years. The bank explains it's now worse than the late 80s bubble. For those too young to know what happened, so basically what this is telling us is that people are paying more for housing now than they were in the late 80s. And that bubble took a while to burst. It took a couple years. Are we back in that market where, you bought a house in 1992 at the peak and it took you, what was that, 7 to 8 years or 7 to 10 years to have the same value? I don't know. Maybe we are. But that was also a time when you could make a lot of money in real estate. Just putting that out there. I look forward to these markets. RBC warns price correction is spreading, calls double-digit drop. Well, that's not surprising. Double digits, 10 more percent again. So I guess the real question is, do we obliterate 2021 gains? Like, comment down below. Do you think we obliterate 2021 gains? We've already obliterated 2022 gains, like the first 2 months of the year. We're now below, for the most part, we're below price. Like, we're going to be negative in 2022. Canadian real estate psychology is crumbling fast. BMO has the best titles, don't they? The psychology around Canadian real estate prices is changing fast as prices fall. BMO explains virtually no one thought home prices could fall just a few months ago. Well, that's actually not true. We all thought they could because they ramped up so much. Like, that was honestly ridiculous. And by the way, I'm going to say it again. I've said it before. Bank of Canada, yeah, they needed that 1% increase. They should have been raising these rates back in June, and that's what caused the January-February bubble, was that it was still stupid cheap. Stupid cheap. Stupid. Just stupid. Canadian real estate prices fell an average of $1,000 per day last month. So people who are using their houses as so I get these comments all the time. Why will the interest rate increase affect inflation? Well, because people use their houses like piggy banks. People use their credit cards like piggy banks. This will slow down people's spending because it's going to cost them more per month to carry that load. And if it costs them more per month, they have less money to spend. Or they're going to look at it and say, that was going to cost me a couple $100s a month. Now it's going to cost me $700, $800 a month. I think I'll just hold off on spending that right now. Or they want to keep their powder dry because they're looking at it and saying, like myself, I want to be in cash and be ready to buy up a whole bunch of property. And that's kind of what I'm waiting for right now. But I'm still buying. Well, I bought that 90 units. Comment down below, should I run the numbers on that 90 unit for all you folks? Bank of Canada warns inflation is too high, makes the biggest hike since 1998. Yeah, no doubt. We knew this too. Canada's drop in unemployment was due to more people giving up their job hunts. People are just not working. I can't explain it. Let the good times roll, I guess. One last summer of freedom before everything just poops out the bottom. Anyways, comment, what do you guys think? I know a bunch of the comments are, we're going to see more pain. I think we're going to see more pain. I don't think we're at the end here. Although, long-term bond rates are going down a little bit because everyone thinks that the Bank of Canada is going to drive this into a recession. And I think it's going to be sooner rather than later. Maybe not this year, But very soon into 2023, I think we're going to see a recession. How they handle that and how this works is going to definitely determine how everything moves forward very, very soon. I mean, how are you positioning yourself right now? Are you taking advantage of these last things are you selling? Are you buying? Are you just standing pat? I mean, it's very, very hard to sit still right now in today's rate environment. It's 10%. Let's call it 10%. So if you're sitting in cash, you got $1 million in cash right now. That $1 million buys $900,000 worth of goods in 1 year, right? As opposed to now. So now you have to debate, well, okay, do I buy that now, or is it actually worth it for me to save that 900,000 instead of $1 million and buy next year, because I'll get that same thing that was $1 million for 800,000, thereby, making that extra $100,000. This is the indecision, and this is reason why we'll be pushed into a recession. Like we're seeing right now. I don't know if you guys follow this, but used car inventory in the US is up massive. So if you wanted to buy a used car, it's getting to be about the right time. Watches, right? They were flying. I don't know if you watch the prices of resale, not even luxury, but Rolexes and but even all watches, they went stupid. They're 4 times their MSRP. 4 times. It's just ridiculous. They're not that rare. You can get them. But, people were just paying insane prices, and they've come off. And that's funny. I love talking to the watch guys who sell them, not the guys who own them, but the guys who sell them. They're like, oh, we flattened out. They're worse than real estate agents in my opinion, because you guys are all going to say, hey, he's a realtor telling you to buy homes. I'm telling you to buy the right homes that cash flow. Anyways, guys, this is my rant for a Monday. What's behind the curtain with all this stuff is, hey, you know what? Yeah, again, Bank of Canada is going to increase more. They are going to, use that only stick they have right now is to beat that interest rate drum. And they're going to do it, and they're going to do it massively. I would not be surprised if in September we see 3/4 point, then another point in October, another quarter point, or maybe half and half. I think they really do know that they're behind the 8 ball on this, and they're going to overreact. As far as we can see, they're going to overreact, and that's going to cause more volatility in the market. More volatility, more people are afraid. Therefore, prices are going to continue to slide because people are going to wait and see. And then people are going to not be able to buy back in. I talked to many people about real estate, many people. And it's really, really interesting right now to see what's going on out there and their opinions. I'm a buyer right now. I'm trying to buy back into Canmore right now. And I'm like, I think the deals are going to get better. So I'm going to wait. Therefore, my money's on the sideline. I like to sell when it's high and buy when it's low. Who doesn't? Super happy you guys can join me. If you haven't subscribed, definitely click the subscribe button, click the like button, leave a comment, let me know you were here. I appreciate all of you. Have a great day. We'll catch you next time.